With an increase in local COVID-19 cases, we find out how many of them were vaccinated people.
The death toll from that South Florida condo collapse continues to climb. I'm Mallory Rivera in Surfside, Florida with the latest on the search efforts coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Abbey. A Crawford County, Kansas man gets more than 15 years in prison for second-degree murder. Jeremy Del Marco pled no contest back in April to allegations he stabbed his wife Brandy to death and injured her grandmother in 2019. The Kansas Attorney General says he was sentenced for the crime today. He gets a little more than 15 years for reckless second-degree murder and 3.5 years for aggravated battery. Those sentences will run at the same time. In February of 2019, authorities say 84-year-old Dorma LaMaster called police report that Del Marco was assaulting her granddaughter. When deputies arrived, they found the two victims seriously injured. Del Marco's wife, Brandy Del Marco, passed away later at a hospital. Barton County Sheriff's Office says the county jail is not safe and they have to shut things down. The jail will close temporarily starting Friday. The Sheriff's Office cites faulty doors, broken glass, poor lighting, and broken security cameras as the reasons behind the shutdown. Sheriff says while the jail is shut down, they're going to focus on repairs and addressing staffing issues. Most of the jail's detainees will be housed at the Cedar County Jail over in Stockton, Missouri. Rain, rain, and rain. Doug Katie joining us now.
Yeah, we've had plenty of rain over the past 4 or 5 days, and we continue to get scattered showers and thunderstorms out there once again this evening. 86, 72 were the numbers for us today, and we've had just batches of showers, even some thunderstorms rolling through over the past several hours. And it looks like on and off this is going to continue tonight. You can see them picking up just a little bit out across southeastern parts of Kansas. Right now we're kind of in a lull, most of us. But again, we got these scattered thunderstorms, Yates Center, Chanute, Fredonia, Neodesha up toward Iola. So we're just going to have these hit and miss storms throughout the overnight hours tonight and then into the morning hours tomorrow. In fact, increasing a bit late tonight and early tomorrow morning. But we are going to finally get a break. We're going to talk about that here in a bit.
Doug, thank you. COVID-19 cases have made a comeback in some parts of the 4-state area, including Newton County, Missouri. The head of the county's health department there points the finger at Newton County's low vaccination rate. KOAM's Mike Mahoney reports.
Melissa Hunter is a Newton County, Missouri resident who takes care of her mom and initially didn't get vaccinated against the coronavirus. But the recent spike in cases in her county has her reconsidering COVID-19 vaccines.
Mom and I are seriously considering it because of the uptake around here. Like I said, we do not want to get sick.
The head of the Newton County Health Department would like to see more county residents adopt that attitude, especially with the county's vaccination rate.
Yeah, it's disappointing that we're at a low rate and one of the lowest rates, I guess, in the nation if you look at it.
Newton County Health Department Administrator Larry Bergner says that just 20% of the county has had at least one shot of the vaccine. And that low rate is why Newton County has gone from 8 active COVID-19 cases in early May to 140 active cases today.
I think a lot of anxiety still persists on is the vaccine safe and effective, and I think it's been proven that the vaccine is safe, it is effective.
The Newton County Health Department team is doing their part to slowly but surely push the Newton County vaccination rate up while also combating misinformation. Larry says 19 county residents who have been vaccinated have still caught COVID-19, but their cases actually prove how effective the vaccine is.
Out of those 19, none of them were hospitalized except one, and that one had severe underlying health conditions that attributed to his hospitalization more so than the COVID. So out of the 19, we could really say that none of them were hospitalized, which means the vaccine played an important role in keeping them at much lower symptoms.
As for Melissa, she's concerned about her county's vaccination rate and hopes her unvaccinated Newton County friends, neighbors, and community members will give COVID-19 vaccines another look like she and her mom are doing.
I would like to see the rate go up. It concerns me with everybody getting out and about and, the 4th of July celebrations. I do not want to see people get sick. I don't want to see people die.
In Newton County, Missouri, Mike Mahoney, KOAM News.
Newton County Health Department is going to be providing COVID-19 vaccinations at the Newton County Fair on July 8th from 8:30 in the morning to 3:30 p.m. Americans may be eyeing an end to this pandemic, but a newly emerging strain of the coronavirus, many of us have heard of it by now, the Delta variant, is being taken very seriously among health professionals who warn it's being spreading rapidly across the globe. Fox News correspondent Christina Coleman has the latest.
As vaccination rates increase and businesses reopen, Americans are ready for a return to normal this summer.
Me and my wife and my 2 boys are all double vaccinated, so we feel very, very comfortable getting out and about and having a good time for the 4th.
But the spread of a new mutation of the coronavirus has some officials hitting pause. In places like Los Angeles County, they're once again asking people to cover their face indoors as a precaution. The Delta variant now accounts for 20% of all cases in the United States and is on track to become the dominant strain across the world in the coming months. The CDC has not changed its guidance on masks, saying the solution is the vaccine. Studies have shown both Pfizer and Moderna to be effective against the new strain.
If you're vaccinated, you are safe from the variants that are circulating here in the United States.
Nearly all new cases of the virus are among the unvaccinated. Experts warn that states with low vaccination rates could see surges. First Lady Jill Biden has been leading a push to convince those still on the fence about getting a shot.
Your life and your health matter to me and to your president. Getting vaccinated is safe, it's effective, and it's free.
Here in LA County, the infection rate is still low, but health officials say it's been slowly ticking up. About half of all residents in the county are fully vaccinated. In Los Angeles, Christina Coleman, Fox News.
4th of July is coming this weekend, and many are going to be celebrating. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky tells us what Pittsburgh residents should know when it comes to setting off fireworks.
Many 4-staters may be excited for 4th of July celebrations to make a comeback. But while using items like fireworks, residents should be informed on what they can and can't do while keeping themselves and others safe. In Pittsburgh, those wanting to light fireworks can do so on nights fireworks are being sold, which started on June 27th until July 5th at midnight.
They can shoot them off from 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. on the nights that the fireworks stands are open for sale and things like that. The time is extended for the 4th, but only for the 4th.
According to Pittsburgh police, after July 5th at midnight, firework use is prohibited until the next 4th. And fireworks sellers want you to know that there are options when it comes to keeping you and everyone else safe.
We sell a safety fuse, like if you're lighting off big fireworks, you can string those together and get a distance before you light it. And that'll allow a distance from fireworks so you don't have to hurry up and scramble to get back out of the way. Police
also recommend keeping water nearby.
Make sure that they're doused in water, make sure they're put out. It's not uncommon to, like I said, have a water source or a bucket of water, something available. So if you have fountains or something that emit a lot of sparks and whatnot.
They say after replying to numerous firework complaints each season, the importance of the public knowing what is and isn't allowed is even greater. In Pittsburgh, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
For Joplin residents looking to celebrate the 4th, fireworks can be sold within the city starting July 1st through the 4th and can only be set off on those days from noon until 11 p.m. The death toll in Surfside, Florida continues to climb as dozens of victims remain unaccounted for. Officials say they are developing contingency plans now as the weather threatens to complicate those search efforts. Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera has more.
Search and rescue teams finding more bodies in the rubble of Champlain Tower south overnight. The death toll now stands at more than a dozen, with nearly 150 people still unaccounted for.
Our detectives have been working around the clock to reach every single person who we have been told may be missing.
Workers continue to use heavy equipment to remove large slabs of concrete, but most teams are using buckets and shovels to remove debris. Since last Thursday, millions of pounds of steel and concrete have been removed.
We're exhausting every avenue here, but it's a very, very dangerous situation.
But heavy rain and thunderstorms have complicated and sometimes halted search efforts. The National Hurricane Center is monitoring 2 potential tropical systems in the Atlantic, but it's not yet clear if they'll pose a threat to crews here. Officials say they have contingency plans in place.
We have done this before where we have responded to multiple emergencies in the state at the same time.
At least 3 class action lawsuits have been filed in this tragic collapse, accusing the condo association of failing to address structural problems. An engineer who surveyed the property last year says he noticed cracks on the outside of the building.
I was shown some concrete deterioration in some balconies and some cracks in the garage level of the building.
President Biden and the First Lady will travel to the area tomorrow and will speak with family members of the victims and rescue teams as well. In Surfside, Florida, Madla Rivera, Fox News.
KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes this time now to honor another four-state hero. Osmero Bartelli served in the U.S. Army from 1942 to 1945. Native of Frontenac, Kansas, Bartelli was stationed in Africa, Italy, France, and Germany. He earned numerous awards, including 2 Purple Hearts. We are proud to thank and salute Captain Osmero Bartelli. He's tonight's four-state hero. Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast. A bit later in sports, a former Crowder College standout pitcher getting his first starts in the major leagues.
Another day of showers, even some thunderstorms across the region like we have seen just about each and every day so far this week. I even had one severe thunderstorm warning in Vernon County earlier today, but most of these have just been good old summer storms across the region, kind of moderate, some of them strong storms, but not too bad. But we still have a lot of at least light showers out there rolling across southwestern Missouri, northeastern Oklahoma. A few little thunderstorms have popped up in southeastern parts of Kansas, but majority of us have been calming down. You can see the rain down through Benton County and also parts of Berry County, and then again out toward Yates Center, Chanute, Fredonia, Parsons, Independence, some scattered showers and even a few thunderstorms. But these are going to continue to just kind of be hit and miss as we go through the overnight hours tonight into tomorrow morning, picking up just a little bit more. But look at all the rain. This dates back to Saturday. Anywhere you see at least orange, we're talking 5 or 6 inches. So we got spots, especially Newton County, Ottawa County, and then back through Craig County that have had a foot of rain over the past 5 days. So a ton of rain. We need a break. We always want the rain in the summer. We just don't want it all at once. All right, let's go through time. Here's midnight. Still some scattered thunderstorms out there, and then kind of increase again late tonight into the morning hours. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. These kind of push through, and then we'll see some more trying to pop up late morning into the early afternoon hours for us tomorrow. But that should really kind of be the last big batches. Nice time lapse, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Temp sitting into the mid 70s, but so is our dew points, which means our humidity is almost 100%. When you have dew points into the low to mid 70s, we're in that muggy to soupy range, and that's unfortunately where we're going to be for us tonight. I don't see why that went gray. I swear this is not a black and white TV. We'll figure that one out. 74 outside in Joplin for us. And as we go through the overnight hours, we have those hit miss, scattered showers and thunderstorms late tonight into tomorrow morning. Here's the difference. Tomorrow late morning, a cold front rolls through. So we still get some thunderstorms on the backside, but that cold front really is going to end all of this mess that we've had the past few days. 70 to start, 78 by noon. High temp right around 81. Rain kind of sinks south for us tomorrow night. Even on Friday, there's a very slight chance we could get a random quick little thunderstorm. I'm going to leave it dry for now. I'll kind of reevaluate that tomorrow. But look at Friday. Temperatures, lower 80s, looks pretty good. Still, though, we could get some more rain tonight. The ground's obviously saturated. Some areas could pick up another 1, 2, maybe upwards to 3 inches of rain. And then we'll get rid of this mess. 81 tomorrow, 82 Friday, 84 Saturday, 86. On the 4th, 87 on Monday. So we get a nice stretch of pretty good weather. And the 4th of July looks pretty good.
Sick of the rain, though, like you mentioned.
Yeah, it'd be nice to dry out for a few days.
It will. All right, we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks so much, Doug. Coming up, our former president visits the U.S. southern border.
Former President Trump tries to turn up the heat on the Biden administration, traveling to the Lone Star State to see the border wall. I'm Grady Trimble in McAllen, Texas. We'll have more on the trip coming up.
A week after Vice President Kamala Harris made a trip to the southern border, former Vice President Donald Trump was there too. The Biden administration has been taking some heat for the ongoing border crisis in Texas, and the state's Republican governor says if the federal government won't finish Trump's wall, he will. Fox's Grady Trimble is in Texas with more.
Former President Trump at the southern border, where his unfinished wall is still a hot topic here in Texas.
We're not only talking about people, millions of people are coming in, but we're talking about drugs, we're talking about human trafficking.
About 450 miles of wall were built during Trump's term, mostly in Arizona, but President Biden suspended the project shortly after taking office. Now, Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott wants to use state tax dollars to finish the job if the federal government won't.
There's one place to solve all the problems on the border, and that is on the border. And that's exactly where the Biden administration needs to devote their resources to get the job done.
Abbott has hammered the Biden administration for what he calls its open border policy. Last week, Vice President Kamala Harris, who President Biden put in charge of the migrant crisis, made a trip to El Paso for an update.
The vice president was able to meet with migrant children and understand why they fled their home.
The number of migrants Border Patrol are apprehending has skyrocketed, the most in the month of May in more than 20 years.
If you want to swing your camera around, you can see some people crossing right there. I mean, so they see us here on the border. They have no fear whatsoever of us. You know, they're coming to surrender.
It's not clear how many miles of border wall Governor Abbott plans to build, but we do know it won't be cheap. Estimates range anywhere between $26 and $46 million per mile. In McAllen, Texas, Grady Trimble, Fox News.
Next, teachers in Oregon upset with required anti-racism sessions, saying those sessions seem to be creating controversy, not preventing them. Bill Cosby is released from prison after the Pennsylvania Supreme Court vacates the actor-comedian's conviction. Cosby served more than 2 years of a 3 to 10 year sentence at the State Correctional Institute, Phoenix, about 30 miles northwest of Philadelphia. He was convicted back in 2018 of drugging and molesting a Temple University employee. The State Supreme Court ruled a previous agreement with the prosecutor prevented Cosby from being charged with the crime. The court also ruled that allowing other accusers to testify about their experiences with Cosby tainted the trial. Cosby was released from prison, as we're seeing this afternoon. Controversy is mounting over in Portland after public school teachers in the city were required to take a number of anti-racism training sessions. Fox News correspondent Dan Springer has the latest from Portland.
Every week, Portland public school teachers receive social justice training. During one session, the equity leader, who's Hispanic, berated a white colleague who questioned the wisdom of linking perfectionism to white supremacy. According to 2 teachers present, the white teacher was told to be silent. The recipient, who doesn't want her name being used out of fear of retaliation, says the woman was hysterical. Quote, "I made her feel unsafe. She kept going on and on. I was dumbfounded. I felt like it was unfair. I couldn't defend myself." The equity leader then boasted online that she took on a racist. Portland school officials and the teachers union refused to respond to our numerous inquiries. Among the questions we had for them, did that exchange violate the district's bullying policy? And why are teachers and students in grades 3 through 5 being shown this video?
Our society speaks racism. It has spoken racism since we were born. Of course you are racist. Of course.
Middle school students are taught about white racial identity, whiteness, and white privilege, which they're told means you actively benefit from the oppression of black, indigenous, people of color. Some call it child abuse.
They're undermining our children. They're taking the position as if they have the right to propagandize them, brainwash them, and then use them for radical purposes with radical ends.
The training is aimed toward activism, with quotes like, "An educator is either a revolutionary or an oppressor." Some teachers practice what they teach. 5 were arrested last summer during more than 100 days of protests that often ended in riots. But the social justice focus is not helping black students. The district has required equity training for a decade, and black students' test scores have gone down, and the achievement gap got wider. Dan Springer, Fox News.
Coming up, ding dong, it's me, the only one that matters in your family. I mean, come on. The story of a dog that went on a journey, then knew how to let everyone know he's back. A South Carolina family who lost their dog was reunited with their pet in one of the most interesting ways possible. Look at that. Look at those eyes. Look at that schnoz. The dog ran away after becoming scared of fireworks at Mary Lynn Whitaker's home in Greenville. Whitaker and her husband say the dog quickly fled from the backyard, and they had no idea where the canine ran off to. Several hours later, Whitaker heard their doorbell ring in the middle of the night. Whitaker immediately looked at her doorbell camera and noticed the dog had returned home, rang the doorbell to come back inside. The 18-month-old puppy was in good condition and was, as we're seeing, excited to return back home. I love this story because the dog, obviously didn't just know how to ring the doorbell, right? But seemed to know exactly where to look, right in the camera. Come on, open the door already. 30 more minutes, news, weather, and sports. Coming away, we're going to preview the opening of a new USS Oklahoma Memorial at Monkey Island.
President Biden hoping to connect the dots between stopping wildfires and a bigger infrastructure package. I'm Lauren Blanchard in Washington, why the president is making his case for more money not only for infrastructure, but also to stop climate change.
Shangri-La Resort on Monkey Island in Oklahoma is preparing to hold a grand opening on a new $12 million facility on Friday. Part of that facility includes a memorial to the USS Oklahoma. KOAM's Chris Warner has more.
The Shangri-La Resort is welcoming a very special addition to its grounds.
The anchor is a replica of the exact anchor off that ship. Weighs 20,000 pounds. Just the chain weighs 2,000 pounds. And that was the inspiration for the name The Anchor for the activity park.
It's part of a multi-million-dollar project for a new venue at Shangri-La, as Williams mentioned, named The Anchor. It features a number of new amenities for guests and members, including a $1 million arcade. But the most important part of this addition is the USS Oklahoma.
The USS Oklahoma is a very special deal for us. 429 sailors and Marines died when that was capsized at Pearl Harbor in 1941, and we have the names and numbers of all 429 casualties as part of this memorial here.
Shangri-La member Bill Schenke says he's pleased with the new venue on site and proud of the new addition out front.
It just shows the character of the people that are up here, and it's an honor to be able to stand in front of this and read the names on the plaques and to really understand that, we remember.
Williams is looking forward to the official groundbreaking and dedication, which is scheduled for this Friday at 1 in the afternoon and will feature a number of local dignitaries, including Oklahoma Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell.
The USS Oklahoma Memorial is a tribute to our state, a tribute to our history, a tribute to our military men and women, and those who have sacrificed all to protect the freedoms that we have. So yeah, it's a great honor for us to be able to have this memorial here and be able to share it with visitors from throughout the United States and around the world.
In Monkey Island, Chris Warner, KOAM News.
Williams says there are only 2 other USS Oklahoma memorials in the country, one in Pearl Harbor, the other in Oklahoma City. Joplin's Chamber of Commerce president is resigning. Toby Teeter says his resignation has been in the works for a while now. He says when he took the job, he planned on it only being temporary. Teeter says he was brought in to transition the chamber into the 21st century, and he believes the city is positioned for future success. The resignation is going to take effect July 30th. Teeter says he doesn't know what's next for him. The president is raising the wage for firefighters on the front lines of wildfires as the U.S. is expecting another rough year of dry conditions and worsening heat. Fox News correspondent Lauren Blanchard has more from Washington as the White House is making its case still for infrastructure funding.
Scorching temperatures in the Northwest.
We were way too hot.
Turning up the heat on President Biden in D.C. to prepare for the upcoming wildfire season. Last year, more than 10 million acres burned.
Wildfires are not a partisan phenomenon. They don't stop at a county or a state line, or a country line for that matter.
The president meeting with Western governors, cabinet members, and others.
The extreme heat we're seeing in the West is not only a risk amplifier for wildfires, it's a threat in and of itself. People are hurting. It's more dangerous for kids to play outside. Roads are buckling under the heat.
Talking about a national preparedness plan for wildfire season.
We're late in the game here.
Also, how the government can react to worsening weather patterns. The president says about $50 billion in the bipartisan infrastructure framework deal would be used to build up resilience to extreme weather events.
We need a coordinated, comprehensive response with all the federal government working in close cooperation to support you, the states.
Many Democrats want President Biden to push harder for more funding from Congress on climate change initiatives. But Republicans have pushed back, saying much of it hurts the U.S. economy.
We have significant differences about many of the things they're trying to do, although we hope to be able to get a bipartisan solution to the infrastructure needs that we have in the country.
President Biden announced the government will increase pay to at least $15 per hour for federal firefighters and provide frontline bonuses. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
A bit later, the office space adapting.
For a growing number of Americans, it's time to get back to work in an office setting. I'm Kevin Cork in Washington with more on the many changes that companies are making to make sure that that return to the office is safe and enjoyable. That's just ahead.
Showers, thunderstorms once again for us today and then into the evening hours. And it looks like we still have about one solid day that we're going to get scattered showers and thunderstorms, and then we'll finally start to get a little bit of a break. None of these have been too strong or severe. We have one severe thunderstorm warning earlier today in Vernon County, where Nevada is located, but you can see most of us kind of been drying out a bit over the past couple hours. Still have some showers in our southeastern counties. We also have a few scattered showers really from Yates Center, Iola, Chanute, Parsons, and then a little bit south of Parsons. But besides that, not a whole bunch going on, even though I do expect more to develop as we go into the overnight hours for us tonight. But look at all the rain, especially where you see the kind of dark purples. Those are areas, pushing in on a foot this week. Right through southwestern Missouri, northeastern Oklahoma has just really been hit hard, and then also extreme southeastern parts of Kansas. That's why we've had all the flash flooding. Let's go through time. Let's go through the overnight hours first, kind of quieting down for the next couple hours, and then late tonight, scattered thunderstorms pop up again across the region. These are going to be hit and miss into the morning hours. Then they'll kind of calm down a bit, and then they'll increase again by the time we head into the afternoon hours. Great time lapse, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Temperatures warm, mainly into lower 70s. It's humid. Our dew points also into lower 70s, meaning our humidity is right about 100%. Outside, 7th and Rangeline currently sitting at 73. Feels like 73, but our relative humidity is 93%. As we go into tomorrow, we do get some good news. We get a cold front that is going to roll in. That's eventually what's going to kind of put an end to all these showers and thunderstorms we see late tonight into tomorrow morning. Look how the winds switch to the north. We're still going to get some afternoon pop-up, guys, but they're not going to be extremely widespread like we have seen today. 70 to start, 78 by noon, high temp right around 81, so temperature is also a little bit cooler. Any showers or thunderstorms we do have out there tomorrow, they start to clear out tomorrow night. Then as we go into Friday, it looks pretty good. We get partly sunny skies, high temps, mainly into lower 80s during the afternoon. But still tonight, we could pick up some heavy amounts of rain, especially right through the heart of the four-state area. A lot of areas could still pick up another inch, maybe even 2 inches of rain. Let's go into the weekend. Cools down. Saturday looks great. Here's the 4th of July. 4th of July looks pretty good. We'll have some showers out to our west. Then we'll start to slowly warm things back up, and some rain chances will increase again by Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. But until then, we're going to get a nice little break from the rain. 81 tomorrow, 82 Friday, 84 Saturday, 86 on the 4th of July.
As you said, at least the 4th of July looks pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad.
Doug, thank you. Coming up in sports, the St. Louis Cards finishing up a sweep over the Diamondbacks. Also, former Crowder College pitcher Aaron Ashby getting his shot in the majors. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
Former Crowder College standout pitcher Aaron Ashby gets his shot in the major leagues today, getting called up by the Brewers to make his first career start. The sports reporter Danny Terzer catches up with Crowder College head coach Travis Lallemand to watch Ashby's debut and talk about his former All-American getting his first taste of the majors.
It was only a matter of time that Aaron Ashby would make his major league debut, and Wednesday was that day.
3-2 count, runners are off. Getting to watch him today was really surreal, to be honest with you, watching him walk out to the mound.
Just 3 years after he graduated from Crowder in 2018, Ashby is starting on the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Really 2 years of full professional baseball, really, and he's already a big leaguer, you know. So there's not too many people that take that path. So that's the really special part, and it takes a special person to be able to navigate that quick. It's not just performance-based, and that's what's the proud moment for me, is how quickly he did that. Looks like he's composed pretty well, though. He's handling himself.
In his sophomore year season in 2018 here at Crowder, Ashby led the country in strikeouts and was an All-American.
It was a February game, and I think he punched out like 15 or 16 that night, and it was early in the year, and you kind of knew that was when you knew that, hey, this stuff is real.
There's many stories of impressive outings, just like that one.
Come on. Attaboy. In that 18 year, he was absolutely unhittable. You know, it was a situation where 150 some strikeouts on the season.
Today, Ashby struggled to settle in. He pitched 2/3 of an inning with 4 earned runs.
Nice play. Hopefully he gets another opportunity soon to go out and kind of rectify the results. But again, you know, just watching him, he handled himself well, and very proud of, you know, in that situation, not just losing it and you know, going awry. He was around the zone, good stuff. 96, 97 mile an hour left-hander, that'll do though.
In Neosho, Danny Terzer, KOAM Sports.
Now, the Brewers, by the way, would go on to win today's game 15-7 over the Cubs, and no word yet on Milwaukee's future plans for Ashby in the major leagues. Well, staying with pro baseball, the St. Louis Cardinals finish up their series against the Arizona Diamondbacks today. The Cards have taken the first 2 games of the series and have won 3 of their last 4. The St. Louis tries for the sweep this afternoon in the second. Kwon Hyun Kim, the pitcher, helping his own cause with a 2-run double. Cards go up 2 early. In the third here, same score, D-backs get on the board as Drupal Cabrera singles to right, play at the plate. He is safe though, cuts the Cardinals lead to 1. In the third, Tyler O'Neill singles up the middle. Paul Goldschmidt scores. That gets the lead back to 2. Then Yadier Molina drops in a single to score O'Neill just 2 batters later. Cardinals win the game and get the 3-game sweep 7-4. In the American League, the Kansas City Royals on the road for Game 3 of their 4-game series against the Boston Red Sox. The Royals have lost the first 2, both of them 1-run games. Tonight's game, in a rain delay in the bottom of the 6th. Kansas City trails at 5-2. Salvador Perez has a solo homer for the Royals. That's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
This next story is for several of you, not all of you. Interesting nonetheless. The days of working from home may soon be coming to an end, as a growing number of corporations are telling their employees to start making their way back into the office. Fox News correspondent Kevin Cork has more on what changes you could see when you return to that workplace.
With at least 66% of all U.S. adults having at least 1 dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, more and more states are continuing to reopen, and that means more people returning to some sense of normalcy, including going back to work in the office.
It's invigorating. It's so great to be back.
Across the country, companies are preparing to welcome back their employees in person, while taking into consideration that changes need to be made to the layouts of their offices to help folks feel safe in the wake of the pandemic.
This is a moment where we can reflect on, okay, what was working well and what wasn't.
Those include health-related updates like spacing out desks and updating air purification systems.
The office has to step it up a notch so that there's no way you should be able to work more effectively in a home than you could in an office that's designed to support you working.
But some businesses are going a step further, understanding that many people have gotten used to working from home. So they want to bring the feeling of home into the office by creating more private work areas and hybrid spaces to still allow people to connect digitally.
Now it's a matter of being more flexible. It's a matter of having a space that can link somebody in who might still be at home. for various reasons.
Oh, but boy, companies could be really facing an uphill battle to get all those employees back into their office spaces. In fact, a recent Harris Poll survey found that some 40% of Americans say they'd like to continue working from home. In Washington, I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.
Coming up, going to check out some movies coming out to theaters and at-home viewing for the 4th of July weekend. The 4th of July holiday weekend brings several new releases to theaters and at-home viewing. From a frightening franchise to a music-inspired documentary, an action thriller, and more. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Help me! This July 4th weekend, a scary series returns to theaters.
The Forever Purge, how does it continue the franchise?
This couple gets stranded as they're escaping from a drug cartel on a Texas ranch. And then there is a group of outsiders who do not want to end the purge. And they begin to come after this couple.
I'd kill for a spicy tuna roll right about now.
The Boss Baby family business is in theaters and on Peacock. In theaters and on Hulu is Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised, about the 1969 Harlem Cultural Festival.
It was billed as a Black Woodstock. The footage of this event was sort of locked away, and it was rediscovered years later. And then Questlove is the director. This is his directorial debut. He decided to take all of that footage and turn it into this documentary.
Our enemy is not human. Chris Pratt leads Amazon Prime's Aliens vs. Humans, The Tomorrow War.
We begin to go back into the past and take people from the past into the future to help fight this war. This is really your big summer blockbuster for 4th of July weekend that's available at home.
Education's gonna change the cycle. Netflix adds We the People, a series of animated music videos with U.S. civics lessons, executive produced by former President Obama and Michelle Obama.
Another shady side tragedy.
And Netflix starts its first trilogy, One Fear Street a Week, based on the R.L. Stine books.
This first one may be the best of the three. It is set in the 90s. It's set in this town that is cursed by a witch.
Fear Street Part 2 is set in the 70s and Part 3 in the 1600s. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. Going to leave you with a video of goats in California doing their part, helping out to eat and remove plants and high shrubs that could fuel wildfires. A big problem there during high heat. Be safe. Do this all again tomorrow. See you then.